Hi crafters, it's Chloe from Chloe's Creative Cards, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this really easy vellum wrap card, which is perfect for Christmas, perfect for batch making, and it's just a really nice, quick and easy card to make. So to get started, I've got a 6x6 card blank, and I've got one of our gorgeous papers from the Elegant Christmas paper card. Now it's completely up to you. I like to put a foiled paper behind because then I feel like you get an extra little bit of play with the light. But if you want to just put a plain paper or a patterned paper behind, you can do so as well. So I'm going to start by just taking my card blank and just giving it a quick measure. So if I trim it down to 5 3/4 inches square, that should be fine. So we're just going to take our lovely paper and just trim it down so it will fit on the front of our card. Might just need a little bit more off, so I'm going to go down 1/8 of an inch, just so it fits on the front of the card blank. There we go. Right, so we're going to stick this onto our card to start with. So a little bit of Collal all-purpose glue just going onto the back there. There we go. Next up, I've got a piece of white vellum. And what I'm going to do is take the vellum and I'm going to wrap it around the card. So you want to get it lined up at one edge. Like so, and then just fold it around your card like this. So it's nearly in half. Really, it's just a fraction out, and I'm going to just mark with a pen just at the top there, so I know that's where I want to cut my vellum. So I'm going to take my trimmer, I'm going to take my vellum, I'm going to pull it towards me like so. It's going to be a little bit of a rough edge, so just with it being a rotary trimmer, I'm going to swap out and just use my little guillotine instead. So I'm just going to take a fraction just off the top there, like so, just to clean that edge up. There we go. So that's then ready to wrap around our card like so. So I'm then going to take my vellum and I'm going to take an anti-static bag and give it a good dust over. I'm going to open it back out like so. A good dust over, and then I've got my beautiful Snowflake frame stamp. Again, as always, all of the materials that I'm using are listed in the description below. So please do have a little look in there. And you'll be able to see all of the products that I'm using. So I've got my Snowflake frame stamp already on an acrylic block. I'm going to ink it up with my clear embossing ink pad. So I'm just working my way around, inking up the design. Okay, and then we're going to take our stamp. And we're going to place that down. I'm going to go a little bit more towards the open side, so a little bit more this way with my stamp, because I'm going to tie a ribbon up the side. So we're just going to work round, applying firm, even pressure to the stamp. We're then going to lift that off, and we're going to take in a bit of scrap paper, and then I've got my Wow metallic silver sparkle. I'm going to sprinkle that over the design. White embossing powder also looks beautiful for this particular card. So I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to put that back into the jar. And then we're going to heat this up. So to do that, I'm just going to use my heat tool, hold it still, and just work my way around the image. And you'll see on the vellum, it goes really, really quickly. We do sell the vellum on our website as well, that you can heat emboss onto. So there we go. You can see how pretty that then looks. Now got my Diamante Sparkle glitter, which is a really nice kind of high reflective silver glitter. So what we're going to do is start and go in and glitter some of the design. I'm going to go in around the edge. I'm going to do these little bits here. And the embossing kind of gives you a little ridge and a little line just to work up to. So we're just going to work around, adding little dots of glue just onto the design. So I'm just really going and adding the glitter where I want to. And we'll do the same on this little one here. There we go. I'm going to just pop my glitter on this little section that I've done so far, and then you'll see what a difference that makes. It makes it so super sparkly and so pretty. So there we go. You can see how lovely that looks. So I'm going to continue working my way around, just adding in my little dots of PVA glue. Okay. So like so, we're just working round and adding all of the glue to these pretty little snowflakes. And then we'll cover that. The adhesive as well. So I'm going to put that to one side just to help give it a little bit of time to dry. And while that's drying, we're going to take the little verse that you get in the middle of the stamp. I'm going to die cut that from a stamp and emboss that, and then die cut it from a piece of crystal white curl card. So again, I'm going to use my anti-static bag, dust over my card, and then I'm going to take my stamp, I'm going to ink it up with my clear embossing ink pad. Going to position that down onto our little piece of crystal white card and press. There we go. So again, you want firm, even pressure all over the stamp, and then we'll lift that away. We're then going to take our polished silver super fine embossing powder. We're going to sprinkle that over, tap away the excess, and then we're going to heat this up. So we'll pop that powder back into the jar. This is polished silver, super fine as well. So it's a beautiful new powder from Wow that gives you a really high reflective finish. So if we hold our heat gun still, go, and you can see, look at the reflectiveness of that. Honestly, they almost look foiled in these new powders. They are beautiful. So I've then got my dies, which you get in the middle of the stamp and die set. So you've got your pierced circles in 3 sizes. So the largest one I'm going to cut from a piece of silver mirror card. So I'm just going to grab my low tack tape and just tape this in place. The next one down, I'm going to cut from a piece of crystal white pearl card. And then the smallest one, I'm going to cut from with my little verse in the middle. So, a little bit of tape there, and a little bit of tape there. And then we're going to run these through our Gemini. So I'm using my base plate, my plastic shim, and my cutting plate on the top. So we're going to just pop all the dies into position, and then we're going to run this through the machine. Go. So when we grab this at the other side and pop these out, we've got these lovely little pierced circles ready to go. Okay, and then we're going to take our chisel tip glue pen and we're going to take some Crystalina glitter, which I've got here in a tub. So on the middle there, we're just going to drag a chisel tip glue pen along the edge. So just keep twisting. There we go. And then we're going to dunk this into our Crystalina glitter. Like so. Okay, we're then going to layer these together just with some foam pads. So a couple of foam pads onto the back of this one. And then flip that over. A few foam pads onto the back of this one. And take the backs off of there. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to bring in our base card and bring in our little glittery piece here. And we're basically going to sandwich them together like so. Now it's up to you how you stick this. You can either leave it all loose and just tie the ribbon round, which is what I'll show you how to do now. Or if you want, you can pop a little bit of glue. What I sometimes do is take my glue, my PVA dries clear, and where I think my bow's going to about sit, just add a little blob. What that then does is it still keeps it all quite nice and loose, but it then just gives you a little point where you can kind of stick it, and it just makes it that little bit easier. So what I then do is take my ribbon. So this is just some thin sheer blue ribbon, but you just have to be a little bit careful of when you're doing it all kind of loose. You're going to take your ribbon, tie it, and I tend to tie it at the front, but what I do is I just tie it in a knot. So for example, might be challenging myself a little here with the so kind of tie it in a knot like this. Cut the ends off. Get a little shuffle towards yourself, and then you can take your ribbon and tie your bow. So just tie in a double bow there. Like so, and then you can trim the ends off. Just trim your ends at a little angle, and you can get that stuck onto the top there. Before I stick that down, I'm going to pop my little greeting in the middle. like so, and then we're going to go around and just add some jewels into the middle of the snowflake. It's my trimmer on the floor. So we're going to take our Bling box. So this is the Everyday Essentials one. I'm going to go in and just take some of these larger jewels and add these into the middle of the snowflakes, like this. And then I've also got my little self-adhesive sparkles. So I'm going to take some of these and just kind of dot them about a little bit in the background. Kind of in and around. Pop some in the middle of the little snowflakes and things like that. So you can just work around and add a few of these into the background too, which then does look really, really pretty. There's a little tiny one. The sheet, little one there. Go, so you can just add these in and around the edge, kind of. Like so. So you can see how pretty that then looks. And what I also like to do is go in with my PVA glue and just add tiny little dots in. Just in and around the snowflakes like this. Just actually spotted. Ooh, pinging these across the table. So I would then take my Crystallina, tip that over the top like this. Then just tap away your excess like this. And there we go. And then I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to stick my little bow on. So I'm going to stick that on with a little bit of 3D glue gel. And then I'm going to add one of our gorgeous little sparklers into the middle of the bow. Just get that open. Go those out. And then I want my 3D glue gel here. That down into the middle, a little bit on the back of my jewel, and that there would be your finished card. So that was a really quick and easy vellum wrap card using the Snowflake frame stamp and die set. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this project and it's a one that you too will recreate at home. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course you can shop all of the products I've been using online at www.chloescreativecards.co.uk. I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye.